Well, Joey, for a variety of reasons, you're very busy at the moment. What's your number one priority at the moment as you look to kick-start the season against Oldham?
Winning games, getting back that winning feeling. It's been long too overdue since I've been here. We've not managed to have that week in, week out. And as a football man, that's what your weekends are about. Getting that momentum, getting those points to get that feel-good factor during the week. But when you do have the humbling experiences as we're having at this moment in time, I think it's a good opportunity to find out your true character. I think your true character starts to be revealed, and as I say, well, the league table attests to now, things can only get better. Club record for all the wrong reasons, and the only way is up.
And players coming back off the bench on Saturday, are you blessed with more options perhaps in terms of team changes and maybe change of shape on Tuesday night?
Possibly. I mean, I still think we're 4, 5, 6 games away from where we want to be. Obviously you're seeing lads who've done superb in the behind closed doors game Tuesday. The intensity just slightly different when they come into a match day, and we're asking them lads to kind of use first team fixtures to get fit, which isn't ideal. But we're not the only team. You look around, the leagues and COVID and injuries and recruitment. It's bizarre. I was sitting thinking yesterday, we're on 16th of August. As a manager, I haven't even got to the end of my first recruitment window. And, with the modern era you're under pressure. So it's bizarre, but that is a part and parcel of football. I look at sides in different divisions who've are still in, not near the end of the first recruitment window. Young manager, first job, trying to turn around, the Titanic, and people are, making noises. So it's bizarre, but also you have to accept as a modern football person that common sense and rationale long went out the window when it came to professional football.
And how do you get through the next 4 or 5 games, like you said, where it could take a few weeks for things to improve? Is it start at the back, keep clean sheets?
No, I think we've got to score goals. Yeah, that's great, but we've conceded 88th minute from a corner that we think we should do better at. And I think when we watch it back, there's multitude of that. And the same, the following weekend for me. I know the fans don't want to read it, but League Cup, FA Cup, Papa John's Pizza Trophy, whatever it's called. They're just not priority for me. They're about getting players fit and obviously allowing players to maybe have come off with a little bit of freedom, because we're not at the stage where we can, dream about cup runs. We're about consolidating, and I think we're second bottom, so we're technically the second or third worst team in the professional ranks. I'm the worst head coach in professional ranks, and that's got to sting. You've got to get better. So yeah, we're aware of the task at hand, and the only way out of it is hard work on the training ground, sticking together and playing from the correct plan.
Yeah, in terms of recruitment, things change by the hour, but realistically, might it be the end of the month rather than this week that you get to bring in the players that you want?
I don't know. You're working away, and it's quite cagey marketplace, as I've said, and that's the thing about it. I mean, I'm still not at the end of my first recruitment window, so I don't know. Probably Merlin and the Wizard. I don't know who else, David Blaine, someone like that. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do. We've got to get the players in. By September the 1st, we'll have the right players in, the right players out. Then you've got to gel them together, and we've got to get going. I mean, I think if anyone would have come into the same situation, I can think of a host of top-level managers. I think it would have been incredibly difficult to turn around in the same space. And for me as a young coach, it's the first time I've struggled because we've incessantly built year on year. And it's the first test, but if it was a 38-year-old who's starting his 4th season, if I felt for the whole of my managerial career it was just going to be an upward trajectory, I'd have been very, very, very naive to do so. And for me, it's a huge learning experience, and it humbles you, but it forces you into your coaching principles, and I think will bring out the best in me as a head coach.
Yeah. In terms of outgoings, any movements?
Yeah, I think we need to start. We've got 31 players at this moment, and ideally you want a training group of 22, 23. So, we need to, trim the edge of that, trim the fat, and unfortunately, we can't take everybody on this journey with us. So, between now and September 1st, we need to make sure that we firm that up. And as I say, hopefully we get no more, COVID injuries, etc., because obviously that can change the landscape. But very, very keen on trimming the group back so that we've got the right emphasis on numbers here for training and competition for places.
Yeah, as we speak on a Monday, could Brandon be available tomorrow night?
We've got a difficult situation, and he's obviously aware of their interest, as all players do. I don't know how the chains work, but we're all naive enough to not naive enough to know that people make contact with it. The problem we've got is obviously we've got no real options on the front line. We're waiting for Brett to return to fitness. Brandon obviously has got some minutes Saturday, but still some way short of being able to give a great account of himself. And then Harvey's been ploughing along furrow up there, and you need everyone available. And at the minute, you'll have to ask Brand, but through injury or choice, he's not available, and obviously wants to go and play for Lincoln. Problem I've got is, we're not getting offered the money that we've paid for him, and we haven't got any other options. So I told him this morning, I don't want him to go. I want him to be here. I'm not entirely sure that that sentiment is echoed, so it makes it difficult. We've got to make a business decision as a club, but also you only want players here who want to be here. So between now and the window closing, we've got a bit of work to do to see if Brand's going to stay with us. As I say, if he doesn't want to be here, then we need to get the correct fee to make sure that we're compensated correctly for it, which we haven't been offered at this moment in time. And if he does want to be here, then we need to get him fit and get him moving on the training pitch so that he can get the opportunity to play on a match day.
Yeah, how do I phrase this? Will he play between now and August, or can he play?
He isn't available at this moment in time, so that, as always, comes down to players. He's getting to the end stage of return to play protocols, and then that'll be a decision for him and his advisors, to make. For me as a player, if I'd been part of a group that got relegated, I'd certainly want to help it get back promoted. But not everybody has the same mindset. People have different mindset, and if they've been offered more money elsewhere, sometimes that's their focus and their priority. But again, for me, I want players here who want to play for the football club, players here who understand the challenges that are in front of us, and on the whole, I've got a really good group who understand that. And between now and the window closing, we need to really, really firm that up, because obviously once the window's closed, the last thing you want to be sitting with is players who are unhappy to be at your club. Yeah,
you told us on Saturday it doesn't rain but pour. Sometimes you've lost Clint. Will you look to replace him, or is that a long-term project?
Yeah, as I said earlier, it's really, really tough to replace Clint. The experience we've shared as players, and obviously the experience, for me as a coach, Clint's been there from kind of day one. We started this journey together, so I don't think I'll ever replace Clint. I think that'll be tough. I don't think you can, but I think everybody understands in football. I always remember Andy Cole saying to me, no matter how important you are or how good you think you are as a player, as one ship sails out, another one sails in, full of possibilities, and that's what my career in this industry has taught me. So we lose Clint and we get an opportunity to upgrade. Where that is at this moment in time, we're still speaking to people and interviewing potential candidates. But I'm lucky in terms of a lot of people have picked up the phone since Saturday, since obviously it was made official that Clint was leaving. And now we just have to make sure that we make the correct decision for our group and someone who can come in and obviously fill the position Clint's left and the big shoes, and hopefully, as I say, be an upgrade in terms of you don't want to bring someone in who's not better than the person who's left the job in situ.
Yeah, and a final question: Oldham, like yourselves, have lost the first two games. What are we expecting on Tuesday night?
Yeah, Curly's not long in there himself, so he'll be trying to put his stamp on things. But I think our focus at this moment in time is us. We need to really focus on us and what we're going to do, and we obviously always play the opponent professional courtesy. But I think we're in our own stadium, and I think we need to get certainly a lot more goalmouth activity, and we've got a plan for that. And I know you don't see it, but Mansfield we didn't have that much. Cheltenham we had a little bit more, but not enough Saturday we had a little bit more, but not enough. So you can see signs, albeit it's not happening as fast as I would like. You know, there is signs that, you know, the team's coming back. You know, you're seeing Nicholson back on the pitch, Finlay back on the pitch, Rodman back on the pitch, Collins back on the pitch, which is a lot better than what it was at Mansfield. You know, when you look around to the bench and can we make an impact, it was a lot better, obviously, Saturday, and I'm imagining in the coming weeks and months, you know, we'll start to have more and more options available to us.